Okay, hello everyone. My name is Brandon, also known as Infinity Pocket, and I'm gonna be doing a little, different video today, only to try and go over some stuff that I've noticed about Marvel Rivals. If you all are not aware or have not played it on PC, there is a bit of a problem with the way that this game is optimized, where if you do certain like settings, it's not like 100% like smooth, and sometimes like I think you can see my frame rate right here on the screen. Um, it doesn't really like keep it together all the time, so you have like hitching or like weird like skips when you play the game. So I'm gonna show you all what my settings are real quick. So though I have an AMD computer, set up, I'll give you all the breakdown on like everything I put in this thing, and we'll see like if this helps anybody because I'm trying to like do this to try and get people to get a little bit more performance out of their game, and hopefully this works. But it's worked for me so far. I will say that, I mean, this is this 1000 frames right here is insane. But yeah, so when I was playing around with testing settings, right? The anti-aliasing is best on TAAU. I've tried it on this Epic TSR, AMD FSR, and Intel XESS. Surprisingly, the Intel one doesn't crash my game, even though it's running on that kind of anti-aliasing, software or whatever you want to call it. But the AMD FSR is not really the best. I will say that. That one I had a lot of hitching on too, like when it gets a little bit too technical on the game. Epic TSR is kind of, it's okay, but it was still bad. Like it wasn't as bad as the AMD one, which is weird considering I have an AMD PC. But the Epic one wasn't that great. The best one I've been on is TAAU, and I haven't had any problems. I got the render scaling up to 100 for some reason. I thought I turned that down to 20, but anyway, the AMD FSR 3 frame generation is on, which is good because honestly, this game is not really that graphically strong. So I don't know why the optimization is so like, prevalent to be like killing it. So I'd say if you have an AMD system, put that on. Intel, I think, I don't know what it's called on Intel. I'm 100% going to be honest with that. I don't know if that's the DLSS or what it is, but I would say turn that on and don't leave it off. Like try and, work with it and see if the same settings that I have on here or like what the equivalent would be will work for you. I'll let y'all know I have a 7950 X3D in this computer. So that's my CPU, and then the graphics card is a high-end graphics card, granted. It's a 7900 XTX. It's the Asus Tough version. So just to put in perspective, like, where my budget is with this PC. But I have other people that I've like, given this out to, and they said it's worked pretty well. The only time it hasn't worked well is when they run Streamlabs, because they were running Streamlabs as administrator for some reason. I'm not 100% sure why, but they said they had a problem with trying to like stream the game from like the screen and everything. So that's why they had to put it as administrator and all this other stuff. So that's a different scenario. If you have your stuff running in administrator, if you're trying to like stream the game and play it at the same time, you may run into problems. I don't have my stuff set to administrator when I'm recording or streaming. So, just keep that in mind. The brightness doesn't matter. Low latency mode, I don't even have an option for that. So, I'd say don't worry about that. If it doesn't bother you, then okay. I have the show FPS here just so you can see the network stats. That's just, the common like packet loss, all that stuff. So you already know about that. VSync isn't even an option for this because I guess I have the FSR frame generation on, so you don't have to worry about that. And then we get down to the settings, right? So it's on custom because, I mean, like I said, this is a high-end PC. So I just kind of like put everything to the max thing. The only thing I took down, just because I didn't really see a need for it to be high, were the texture details and the foliage quality. Because, I mean, who's looking at plants when you're trying to like take out Scarlet Witch and Jeff the Shark? Like nobody's really paying attention to the plants on the map. So this is fine. I'd say you can try and run these settings, but tend to like drop anything down as necessary if you feel like it's going to run a little bit smoother on your end. I mean, that's just the way it is. I don't do lumen reflections because, I mean, I can. I don't see it. Like fast-paced gaming, you don't really see it. But yeah, that's just my settings for right now, right? So I'm gonna keep the FPS here in the corner, or well, side of the screen. And I'm gonna go into the practice range so you can see how it kind of performs under like a lot of like movement and stress. It's weird though. So with what my settings are, by the way, I'm a Winter Soldier main, so all you Hail Hydra fans, stand up, please. But yeah, all of my stuff is always running at like 200 plus frames with these settings, right? And what I've noticed is that if I have it on the AMD stuff or like even the Intel's anti-aliasing, it just significantly drops it to like about like 120 to like 150-ish in that region. And if you see me like jitter the mouse, that's just me like reattaching it to the table, because sometimes I tend to lift the mouse when I do turns like this. But yeah, so the only time I've ever dropped below these 200 frames is on Wakanda maps, like not this area specifically, but on like the payload map and the capture the point map. I have not seemed to figure out why it's only those two maps that are those two like stage settings where the quality or like the frames just drop to that low. Every other map is like over 200. I don't know what it is. It's really, really weird. And if you're on PC or like PlayStation or anything, I'm pretty sure you all know about the Doctor Strange portal situation, where it's like trying to buffer that like load time for that area that he's putting the portal at. It's obviously going to drop frames. I mean, when it happens to me, I probably drop from like, let's say I'm at 283 right now, right? I'll drop down to like maybe like 250 to like 225, something like that. But it's not a big deal. It's only temporary anyway, because you're not near the Doctor Strange portal all the time. But like, let's say, I keep on spamming this. We're not really like getting any kind of hitching like at all. Like I can turn on a dime, there's no like stuttering or anything. It's just smooth, right? So this is all the stuff that I've been experiencing. But like I said, granted, I have a high-end PC, but I have had people that, have used these settings, and there's not been a single problem with it. Like, it's just very interesting. So I just wanted to make a quick video to show you, like, doing this. Like, you could put this, and if you don't believe me, I'd say test this on like the AMD like anti-aliasing or the Intel anti-aliasing or the Epic one, and see how your PC performs. If it performs like decently under those, then that's great. But in terms of me having like an AMD PC with like how fast I turn and like getting fights, I don't have any problems like at all. And let me see if I can do this. I don't know if you all will be able to see this. I think is it Control O? No, Alt O? I can't, all right, I can't pull up the menu. There's a way I can pull up the menu. I just forgot what it was. It might be Control Shift O. There it is. I don't know if you can see this, but in the top right corner, it'll show like the FPS, the frame time, the 99th percentile for FPS, GPU utility or utilization, the GPU temp and the CPU temp. But if you can't see this, it's okay. I'm just gonna try and like get close to like explaining like what the temps go to when I start doing stuff like that, because it's mainly when I like first started playing Winter Soldier, I noticed like when you keep spamming his ult and like having to like correct and the map has to like generate things, it starts to make like the PC like temp light up a little bit. And I mean, I'm not even breaking like 65 like degrees right now on my end. I mean, maybe I did it for a second, but it's not going over 70. Like on the Epic and the AMD TSR or sorry, I'm getting it mixed up. The AMD FSR stuff, it was like hitting like 75 to 80 degrees Celsius. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Like it was like struggling to like process it because it's just not optimized well for like that kind of stuff. I couldn't tell you why. Like I really don't. I'm a pretty technical person, but yeah, it just caught me off guard too. So I'd say if this works out for y'all, then that's great. Just let me know in the comments. If this helps out at all. I don't want to start like any kind of like AMD Intel war in the chat. This is just something that I noticed that works well for me and seems to have worked for other people. Just a quick rundown on what I was saying before. Don't have it if you're streaming or recording this, do not use your Streamlabs and administrator and try and play this if your PC does not have the right potential for, you know, being able to do all that kind of like workload. Oh, I also forgot this. So the breakdown on what my PC build is, right? I have a lot of RAM just because I do a lot of stuff, so, you know, I kind of needed it. But I have 64 gigs of RAM. I have a 7900 XTX Asus TUF graphics card. The CPU again is a 7950 X3D, and this is running off of just like, you know, an MSI motherboard. So it's, you know, just, you know, the basics. It's a good, you know, strong PC. Like, it's able to do like a lot of stuff. And I am playing this in 1080p right now, only because my monitor is 1080p and I get 280 like, you know, hertz off of it just from playing at this. So that's why I like using this one. I have a 4K monitor, but I haven't done this in 4K, so I can't tell you what the actual specs on that would be with the FPS or like, you know, how well it'll like function. But as you can see, like, you know, if I do all this, I get no hitching. There's no stuttering. Even the CPU temp is still sitting at like 65 degrees. It's cool. It's chilling as much as it possibly can. So, you know, I just thought I'd make this just as like a quick little video to try and see if this helps anybody. You know, I know it's not the best optimized thing, and they just put out like a little like what is it, a tweet or you know, some kind of like journalistic find that apparently the FPS affects how much like damage people do. Like, let's say Wolverine, like, he doesn't take out tanks as fast if he's at like 30 FPS compared to like 120 FPS. So, you know, it's just something to try and like, you know, increase the performance and enjoyment of the game. And yeah, I just thought it'd help out. So if you guys find this helpful, just go ahead and, you know, check out my other stuff. You know, I do stream on Twitch, and like the video if, you know, you're so inclined. But yeah, I'll be on Twitch playing this. So if you all ever happen to catch me there or want to follow me on there just to see how I play normally with some friends or just, you know, on my own time, then, you know, I don't mind that at all. It's the same name as my YouTube, so it's at Infinity Pocket on twitch.tv. But yeah, I will catch you all later. Thank you all for tuning in, and like I said, hope this helps. Go enjoy some Marvel. Take care. Peace.